Why did God give us the Torah? On Shavuot, the festival, we celebrate Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah, which formalizes the terms of the covenant, the brit, between God and the Jewish people, which explains our obligations toward God as well as toward our fellow citizens, our fellow Jews, as well as our obligations toward the rest of humanity. Why did we, the Jews, get that? After all, in ancient times, we were by far not the biggest nation, not the most powerful. We had no empire. We had not created cities or buildings or great literature or culture. We were, to the contrary, the very least of the nations, a ragtag group of escaped, or with a little help, escaped slaves, split up through factions. Why in the world would God choose us? Well, the Talmud gives us an answer to that, and the same story appears in Midrash. You can see it in the Talmud in Avodah Zarah 2b, the Mechilta of Rabbi Ishmael, a few other places. So I'm not making this up. The rabbis asked the same question, and the answer is, well, at first, God didn't choose the Jews. God goes to Pharaoh and says, Pharaoh, how would you like some mitzvot, some commandments? Pharaoh says, well, for instance, like what? God says, oh, like thou shalt not kill. Pharaoh says, no, thank you. We kind of have this military conquest, slavery enterprise going here, and that really won't work for us, so no thanks. So next, God goes to the king of the Greeks and says, how would you like some commandments, some mitzvot? And the king says, well, like what? And God says, like, thou shalt not commit idolatry. And the king says, oh no, we have this whole system. It actually depends on multiple gods, and that's how our whole empire works. So no, thank you. Next, God goes to Caesar. Caesar, how would you like some mitzvot, some commandments? And Caesar says, well, like what? God says, like, thou shalt not commit adultery. And Caesar says, no, thank you. You know, we have kind of this group sex thing going on, and, you know, a little incest, and that really isn't what we're looking for. No, thank you. And try, God does finally, in almost desperation, God goes to Moses, and says, Moses, how would you like some mitzvot, some commandments? And Moses says, well, how much are they? God says, they're free. Moses says, good, then I'll take 10. And somehow, in some form, we get the Torah. Now, our sages often said, and you can find evidence in the written scripture as well, that God sent prophets to other peoples, and God had special roles and special missions for other peoples. It wasn't just the Jewish people. And God is quite clear saying through the prophets, do you think that you're more dear to me than some other people? It isn't that. It's that we are special in our own way, in the way that a child in a family with many siblings is special to their parents in their own unique ways. Or as a parent of several children, a parent can love each of their children infinitely and fully and completely, but in a different way, because everyone is different. And that is how we feel God's love for us as the Jewish people, as very special and unique, recognizing that we have siblings as well. But along with our mission, an expression of God's love for us, the Torah, the mitzvot that come with it, are our obligations. And in part, that is to build a society based on the laws and wisdom, the ethics, the ideals of this Torah as it was given, as it was explained, as it has evolved and fulfilled itself, opened up like a flower, like a tree that is blooming, to live according to this system so that we can have a successful society, a Jewish nation that is loving and kind and decent. And if we succeed in that, then others will see us and learn from us and follow what they may. And as we have observed, other nations have, through their own paths, or occasionally even looking to us, have come to certain principles, such as equality before the law, that every person from king to pauper is subject to the same set of laws, that law belongs to the people, that everyone should have access to know what the law is and to call upon it. It's a theory of society, as well as a whole larger set of ideals. And if we can manage to actually incorporate our own ideals as they're given in the Torah in a practical way in our world, then we will be fulfilling our mission. And then completing the act, for the giving of the Torah was long ago, but in each generation, we are called upon and challenged to receive the Torah. Happy Shavuot. Be well.